I mean, that could be 25 billion of profits. Now, if Tesla has about 3.3 billion shares outstanding, just some rough math here, that could add $7.57 to Tesla's EPS. 2027, who cares? I mean, if let's say by then Tesla's doing double this, right? The Model 2 is about half of Tesla's EPS. Let's call it 15. Well, let's just times that by 2. Let's say Tesla by 2028, 2027 is doing $15 of EPS, right? Take the current multiple, roughly around 65 or so. That would put Tesla's stock at $984. $984. Elon Musk just dropped a massive bombshell on Tesla stock investors, and if this doesn't get you jacked up and ready to go, I don't know what else does. This could be big for Tesla's stock price. This is next generation. This is blow your top off ridiculous value that will be added to Tesla, and maybe it's coming quicker than everyone thinks. Like, literally everyone. We have a lot to get into in a very short amount of time. On top of that, that's obviously the main segment of this video. I cannot stress tomorrow's data report more. We're going to see a big move coming tomorrow. And this data that we're going to get has big implications for Friday's data report. So you're going to get all of Friday's data report likely priced into the move coming tomorrow. We'll break all of that down. If that does not make sense, well, stay tuned. You definitely don't want to miss this video. In the meantime, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Consider sharing this video with a buddy, a pal, a group, or a friend, or whoever else needs to hear it. Let's go ahead and get started. So let's obviously start this video with the bombshell announcement that Elon Musk made today. This went right over Wall Street's head. But if you're watching this video, it's not going to go over your head. We got a little bit more of a direct timeline of when we can expect the next generation Tesla model. This is nicknamed the Model 2. This is going to be a vehicle priced between $20,000 and $25,000. This is your mass market EV. This is an EV that basically anyone with an average job could afford. This is your emerging market vehicle. This is the perfect vehicle for India, for some more rural, less tech-savvy areas of China, maybe lower income areas of China, the Middle East, other areas, South America. This would be the perfect vehicle. Tesla expects they can sell over 5 million of these every year. Do you remember what Ron Barron said just about 3 weeks ago? If you don't, I'll give you a quick refresher.
But he's going to open plants all around the world for low-cost cars, and wait till you see what's going to happen when all of a sudden they start selling cars instead of for $40,000 a piece, for $25,000 a piece, which is going to happen in about a year and a half from their new model. The new model they think is going to do 5 million cars a year. 5 million cars a year for the Model 2. That's coming.
Ron Barron said 3 weeks ago that Tesla could start selling, literally selling these vehicles to customers, the Model 2, as it's been nicknamed, in 1 to 1.5 years. So that would put us at the end of 2024, if not midpoint or the start of 2025. What Elon Musk just said today basically confirms that. And nobody believed Ron Barron, I should point out, when he said a year to a year and a half Tesla will start selling these $25,000 vehicles. Literally no one. People made fun of Ron Barron 3 weeks ago when he said this. Well, it's hard to do that after listening to what Musk said. Take a listen.
But it's not the right price for the kid that wants to take one to college or whatnot. So that's why I'm kind of anxious to find out what it is that can be done for those others that want to get into electrification but can't. So if we can't do that, then let me shift gears. And what do you think about the new?
I can say a little bit. I just can't tell you, unit volume and dates, because that has a mass that is projecting the financials. So we obviously are working on a low cost electric vehicle that will be made in very high volume. We're quite far advanced in that work. I review the production line plans for that every week, and I think the revolution in manufacturing that will be represented by that car will blow people's minds. It is not like any car production line that anyone's ever seen.
Is this going to have the basically unboxed system, or would this be too much of a question to ask?
The thing that's most interesting about this is it's a production system. It's a level of production technology that is far in advance of any automotive plant on Earth.
I can hardly wait now.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
It's gonna be very cool, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think we're, and I should point out that we will be making the first production line will be here in the Gigafactory in Texas, in this facility.
Oh, I thought it was going to be in Mexico or something.
That'll be the second place.
Wow, that's way cool.
It would take too long to complete the factory in Mexico.
Well, this place here seems to be growing every time I come here. It seems to get bigger. And
yeah, we're adding a significant extension on the south, and adding more buildings on the. We have 2,000 acres, so this is really just a small part of the property.
Yeah. Well, I kept hearing phase one. This is phase one. So this is phase one. I can't imagine what all the other phases must be. So it's,
yeah. And this building is 3 times the size of the Pentagon.
Yeah. Well, the Pentagon I got lost in as well.
Yeah.
It's easy to do that.
The most important part of what Elon just said here is they are going to start building the Model 2 and selling the Model 2. I'm just calling it the Model 2. We don't know if it's going to be called the Model 2. Remember that. Your Model 2, when I say that, is your $25,000 vehicle. Elon said they're going to start building it in Texas because it's going to take too long to get Giga Mexico up and running, and they don't want to wait that long. Now, the timeline for Giga Mexico is somewhat uncertain. We're expecting next year at some point construction will start, maybe in the second half of 2024. Elon said they don't want to go headfirst into building this factory until they know how demand's going to be, how the economy globally is going to be. So it's a little bit unknown. But right now, according to Google and Wikipedia's page on Gigafactory Mexico, this says the Mexico Gigafactory, also known as Gigafactory 6, is a proposed manufacturing plant for Tesla to be constructed near Monterrey, Mexico, with new vehicle production expected as early as 2026. So if Tesla's going to start building the Model 2 in Texas because the Gigafactory in Mexico is not going to be done in time, that means Ron Barron is correct. Maybe by the end of 2024, more than likely the beginning of 2025, you will start to see Model 2 vehicles being sold. Why is this a literal bombshell and could be so good for Tesla stock? I'll tell you right now. The markets are forward-looking. So the markets always say, hey, where is this company going to be in the future? It doesn't matter what happened in the past. What is coming next? Your Model 2 will have substantial impacts to Tesla's bottom and top line. This is no Cybertruck that is going to sell a couple 100,000 units a year. This is your mass market vehicle. This is a vehicle that could sell 5 million units a year, let alone the Model 3 or the Model Y or the Cybertruck or the S or the X at that point. Just for reference here, Toyota, the world's largest selling automaker, they sell the most amount of units. Well, Toyota sells about 10 million vehicles a year. So the Model 2 could do half of that number. Obviously, that wouldn't be in 2025 or even 2026. That'd probably be like 2027 or 2028. But the markets are forward-looking. So the markets, once we actually get this confirmed that production is likely coming or coming soon, the markets will start to price a value on that. Right now, there is zero value priced on the Model 2. It hasn't even been announced. It's a concept or a theory more than anything else. Well, if we could start production on the Model 2 in 12 to 18 months, the second that is announced, let's say tomorrow or, whenever Tesla wants to announce that, 3-6 months from now, it becomes a reality. And the markets will be forced to price that in. Now, the lower rates go, the more attractive, the higher valuation Tesla can likely experience. So the Model 2, if things go correctly, and let's say the Model 2 is announced around Q2 of 2024. That's kind of what it's sounding like to me. Maybe Q3 of 2024. Tesla stock towards the end of 2024 could easily be $500, $600, $700, $800+ per share, just because of the sheer volumes that Tesla could sell. Again, this is not a $40,000 vehicle. This is a $25,000 vehicle. This would be well cheaper than most of your internal combustion vehicles. There's not too many ICE vehicles that are starting brand new at under $25,000 or at $25,000. Most ICE vehicles brand new are $30,000 to like $35,000, $40,000 for like a Chevy Equinox or, a Toyota Corolla or whatever, Toyota Camry, right? In that ballpark. This would undercut all of those. I mean, this will be the game changer for Tesla stock. Just on a sheer analyst basis, analysts look at total addressable market. The reason why the Cybertruck is not seen as this huge new product from Tesla, from analyst standpoint, I think the Cybertruck would be the most successful selling truck in the next couple of years, the most successful truck the world has ever seen. Topic for another video, but it's the total addressable market. There's a couple different things that go into it, right? Are you a compact SUV? Are you a car, a sedan? Are you a truck, right? There's different segments for different people. The most important thing, though, is the price. At $60,000 plus, your total addressable market, well, is pretty low because you have to be a higher income earner. The rest of the world, in terms of the global world, is not going to be able to afford a Cybertruck. Like, that would be a lot of money for the world. That's unrealistic. Just Europe, the US, some parts of China, Japan, those would be the areas that could afford this vehicle. Like 80% of the world's population will not be able to afford a Cybertruck. The Model 2, like 80% of the world will be able to afford a Model 2. Maybe 60 or 70%. Maybe I'm being a little too generous there. Somewhere in that ballpark. That increases your total addressable market by hundreds of billions of dollars in a year. Tesla last year, well, this year, technically, almost last year when we get into 2024, is going to do over $100 billion of revenue. So this could be way larger than that. Just some simple math here. If Tesla did sell 5 million units of the Model 2 at $25,000 a piece, that would be $125 billion to the top line. That would be roughly equivalent, maybe a little bit more than what Tesla is going to do this year entirely as far as revenue. Now, this is not including FSD that would be sold on these vehicles or other, add-ons or different things. Obviously, the selling price might be higher than $25,000, all things considered, but this would basically double Tesla's business. Now, if you assign like a 20% margin onto that, I mean, that could be 25 billion of profits. Now, if Tesla has about 3.3 billion shares outstanding, just some rough math here, that could add $7.57 to Tesla's EPS. 2027, who cares? I mean, if let's say by then Tesla's doing double this, right? The Model 2 is about half of Tesla's EPS. Let's call it 15, just well, let's just times that by 2. Let's say Tesla by 2028, 2027 is doing $15 of EPS, right? Take the current multiple, roughly around 65 or so. That would put Tesla stock at $984. $984. How much of that value will be priced in ahead of time before 2027 when it's announced? I would argue maybe $100, $200, $300, right? Isn't that appropriate? If in theory, if you divide this by 2, if you think the Model 2 could give Tesla half of its yearly EPS number as $7.50 roughly, divide this by 2, that could be adding about $492 of value to Tesla's stock. That would be, 2 times where Tesla is trading today. That is huge, okay? Off the charts ridiculous. This could be a huge deal for Tesla stock. Let me know what you think about this and that calculation down below in the comment section. I would love to hear your take and your opinion on this product. The second thing we must talk about is the data coming out tomorrow morning. Now, a brief overview of what happened in the markets today. Jolt's job openings came in about 600,000 jobs lower than expectations. Total job openings dropped between 15 and 20% just on a month-over-month basis. The reason that happens is, let's say a Dollar General is looking to hire 3 employees. Maybe their business is slowing down. Now they're looking to hire 1 employee. That is 2 jobs that are now no longer available to be filled. That's a pretty bad sign. The economy might not be on the right trajectory. Maybe the economy is really starting to point downwards, aka you're getting some weakness in the economy. Not exactly great. When stocks trade on fear concerns of a recession, or at least it's kind of up in the air whether or not we get a recession, it doesn't matter if markets are pricing in 10 rate cuts. If we get a recession, that's still bad. It's still bad news. Or if we price in 4 rate cuts but no recession, that's good news. So what you're seeing today is this bad Jolt's job opening number that is causing fear of a recession, that is pushing up the amount of rate cuts we're expecting for 2024. Now we're expecting a rate cut March, May, I believe it's July. Let's double check this. Basically every Fed meeting after March. So March expecting a rate cut, May expecting a rate cut, June rate cut, July rate cut, September rate cut, November rate cut, December pause. So that's quite a few rate cuts we're expecting. If this comes with a recession, bad news. So any data that supports we're going to get a recession or we're maybe going into one is going to be bad. And that's why stocks like Russell 2000 names did very poorly today. This brings us to the big data report coming out tomorrow morning. The big data report coming out tomorrow morning is the ADP employment change. Think about it like this. The ADP employment change is the private payroll report. Now, Friday, we get the non-farm payroll report and the unemployment rate. But the ADP employment change is the closest report in similarity to the non-farm report. So if we get the estimate of 130,000 for your ADP employment change, that's fine. Estimates are not going to change much for Friday's non-farm payroll report. Let's say your ADP employment change comes in at 30,000 job ads, way lower than estimates. What's going to happen is the markets are going to say, we are going to have a really low non-farm payroll report coming on Friday. Maybe we are heading into a recession. So a lot of changes to the estimates could happen to Friday's payroll report and the unemployment rate subsequently based on tomorrow's ADP employment change. Kind of like this. You know, sympathies in stocks, right? A company reports earnings. Companies in that sector will do good or bad. Like Nvidia, right? Nvidia's earnings affects AMD. Or just what we've seen recently, SolarEdge came out before their earnings and guided lower. The stock dropped like 30% the next day. Other solar stocks dropped 10 to 20% because they're in the same sector. The same is true with this report, right? The ADP employment change is in the same sector. It's like brothers, right? Or sisters with the non-farm payroll report. So if this one's bad, it's going to put a bad taste in investors' mouths for Friday's report. So coming tomorrow, you might get the move for the ADP and the pricing in for the Friday report. That could make Friday less of an event because, I mean, if we get a really bad number, a really good number, you're already going to price that in for Friday. Hopefully that makes some sense. That's why the ADP employment change could be a big deal coming out tomorrow. I personally think you're probably going to come in lower than 130,000. Could be pretty low. Last month was 113,000 job ads. If the job openings fell 600,000, that's not great. You probably didn't see as many people hired last month if job openings fell 600,000. Maybe you do come in with a 50,000 job addition number. That could be really bad for markets, really bad for the recession outlook. So we'll see. I don't want to put an official estimate on it. If I were to, I would say maybe 50 to 75,000 job ads. I don't think it's going to come in higher than 130,000. But as long as you're above like maybe 50 or 75,000, it's not terrible, but I'm more on the low end. So it might actually give us a negative reaction in the markets coming tomorrow. That is, I will say, something that did help Tesla and big tech today, is because if you know rates are coming down in 2024, well, and we might see a recession, well, stocks look more attractive. What stocks do you want to buy if we go into a recession? Your big tech names. So that actually did help out Tesla. If we did get a recessionary report tomorrow with the ADP employment change, implying the non-farm and the unemployment rate coming on Friday will also be recessionary and just be bad overall, Tesla might benefit off that. Apple, Google, Amazon, Nvidia, Microsoft, they benefited today alongside Tesla because of this recessionary data report we got with the JOLTS job opening. So let me know what you guys think about all of this down below in the comment section. That is going to go ahead and do it for this video. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I highly recommend you share this video with as many people as possible. Just subscribing to the channel and hitting the like button really does help push this video out to as many people as possible, so I do appreciate it. Nonetheless, that is going to do it for this one. My name is Michael Tyler. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.